Do you also have a neglected room that has to do it all? Home office, guest bedroom, storage. Today I'm figuring out how to make that a space to love in just a weekend.
And I have to do it all while in London, England, without a car, without my tools. And I'm very curious to see what my friend Angela will even think of the space in the end.
Okay, are you ready? Open your eyes in 3, 2, 1. This is my friend Angela's space, and we have been friends since high school. And I'm here to visit her in London, England, and give this space a much needed makeover. Wait, was that even British? Oh my gosh, she just texted me. She saw Dua Lipa on the street. Is this what it's like living in London? I want to see Dua Lipa. Angela lives in this flat with her partner John and their little pup Monty. This space operates as a home office, a guest bedroom, and whatever else it needs to. In today's episode, we're going to turn this space from,
oh, that's handy, you have a home office?
To,
oh my god, please let me write emails there every single day and take a nap and sleep, and I love this space so much.
That's the exact quote I'm actually going to go for. That's the goal. Okay, let's talk about some problem areas. This desk needs some organization, maybe a little decor. This chair, less comfy than it even looks. So I think that's saying a lot. And these curtains, they just don't hang right. They do block a lot of this window and a lot of the space. And they just kind of remind me of a bad hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. Over here, we need to make the bed a bed because even though they moved in not too long ago, they don't have any sheets or pillows for this bed. So we're gonna fix that situation. And these shelves just need a little bit of better styling. But I'm actually glad these shelves are installed. I think it adds a lot of interest to the space, but I do have a question for you. Would you rather move into a space and have things pre-installed like shelves or other built-ins, or would you rather a completely blank space so that you could do your own installing? This is a rental, so I'm glad these are already here because we're trying to do a minimum amount of new holes in the wall. Now, the only lighting in this space is overhead lighting, which is not cozy. I'm gonna have to solve that for sure. I do think we could use a rug in the space here and also something on this wall to bring some interest. Okay, I'm feeling really good about what we have to accomplish, and I know that London has some pretty great thrifting, so cue the shopping montage.
So while shopping, I'm looking for a bunch of various decor. We also need fabrics for multiple sewing projects, lamps, and I would love to find a mirror. This shopping and sourcing is taking a few days, but I am against a bit of a learning curve.
Bad news, I absolutely went 40 minutes in the wrong direction because I typed in the address slightly wrong. Good news is there's like a few small shops in this area, so I can do those. So annoying.
I also may have found the best thing ever. A thrift, furniture, vintage shop, and a cafe. And also, it's lunchtime.
Although I will say that thrifting my way through a new city is probably my favorite way to experience it.
Okay, so there's no way I'd be able to travel to all of these shops if I did not have today's sponsor, Arlo. If you're not onto eSIMs yet, I'm about to blow your mind. Having a local phone number and data while traveling has never been simpler or more affordable. Instead of the little plastic SIM cards you'd have to find at a destination when you arrive, now you just download Arlo, purchase an eSIM from over 200 destinations worldwide, install it, land to your destination, and activate it. This is all done digitally, and Arlo walks you through every single step. I'm not gonna lie, when we got to the airport here, I saw an older man fumbling with his phone, trying to poke out his SIM card with one of those little SIM pokey sticks.
Oh my God!
And I was so close to giving him unsolicited advice and being like, sir, use my code SORRY3 with Arlo and download your first eSIM and get $3 off. And don't do whatever this is. Honestly, I kind of regret not doing it. Arlo is trusted by 20+ million worldwide travelers, and they are the first and leading eSIM company, keeping us connected on our journey wherever we shall land. I will say I've tried a few different eSIM companies, and I love Arlo because you can actually track your data. Not all companies let you do this, and if you're in the middle of an unknown city and you didn't know you're about to lose data, that can be a bad situation. I know this from experience. I've been through it all, so you don't have to. Travel with confidence, not confusion. Download the Airlo app today and use my code SORRY3 for $3 off your first eSIM and take control of your trip. Okay, journey continues. Over the last few days, I've thrifted, shopped, placed some online orders, but just so you know the style that we're going for here in Angel's guest bedroom / office, we gotta lean into a lot of what we already have in this space, but in the end, the style is gonna be kind of like a minimalist cozy. Bringing the cozy for sure. Let's see if it's all gonna come together. Starting with the curtains. I knew when Angela sent me photos of this space that we need to do something about these curtains. They block a lot of light and we don't really need them to. They also just look kind of sad and old. Don't worry, we will just fold those and put them away for when she moves out or if she needs blackout curtains again. I was waiting for the day to come where I would actually prefer blinds over curtains, and it finally did, but replacing these curtains using the existing track system is much more budget conscious and renter friendly. Okay, now despite trying to thrift for fabric or curtains or a bed sheet, don't get me started on the London thrifting game when it comes to home decor. Lots of clothing stores. Home decor? Anyways, I picked up these curtains new and they do have the curtain tab pleat tape at the top, which is exactly what we need in order to hang these curtains on the existing track. Like guys, I literally brought all this stuff from home. I was ready to sew. I will use my own hooks to get these up. Okay, now clearly these are a little long and will need a hem, so I'm very lucky that you guys, as well as Angela, told me about a place where I could get a sewing machine for just the day. So where I'm heading is a place called the Library of Things, and here you can rent so many different things like sewing machine, ladder, tools, projector, ice cream maker. And I love this concept for anybody that doesn't have storage space and also just reducing the things that we buy. And just like that, I can head back with my thing. And you guys know me, I like to hem my curtains when they're hanging up. Oh no, I thought I was pretty prepared, but I don't have fabric scissors. How painful is this gonna be? Okay, hemming them has already made them look so much better, but I have 2 hacks that I want to try to make them look the best possible. One of them, you already know, it's adding weighted curtain rope. I did this first in the color-drenched bedroom, and it made such a big difference with these curtains. So of course I'm gonna do that here. Okay, this is looking all right, but I think we can do even better. So I'm trying a new hack that I've never done before. And we need this fabric that I cut off from the hem. So I'm going to make some little ribbon strips. And now we're gonna do something I'm calling memory pleats. So basically you pleat the curtains the way you want them to lay, and then you lightly tie a ribbon or scrap fabric around a few sections in order to hold the pleats in place. And then you can steam it or leave it for literally a week. Obviously, we're just gonna steam it and leave it for today and see if this hack works. I'm feeling. And we'll come back to this area. While I let the pleat folds set, I'm going to move on to styling the shelves, but that means I need to pot some plants that I picked up. I thrifted this glass pot, and I think somebody was using it as like a candle holder, but I feel like with the textured glass, it's gonna look very terrarium and earthy once I get the plant and moss in. So actually before I went and did any thrifting or shopping, I did a rough style of these shelves with things that Angela already had, and I was able to make some pretty good headway. And then my trick here is to kind of like take a photo of the shelves and make a little list of things that I want to pick up so that I can fill any of the holes. So on my list was like books, clock, various decor, I like ceramics and vases sometimes. Just some things to fill the space. And of course, plants. Can't go wrong with plants, especially in a room this bright. Okay, let's see what we can pull together now that we have a little thrift haul, as well as a good base of what she already has. These are some tips I usually follow when styling shelves. So before, all of the games were together, and I think splitting them up just makes the shelves look more dimensional and styled. I also think shelves are a great conversational starter, so I love when there's lots of personality on shelves. I love that these shelves are gonna be in the background of Angela's video calls, and any one of the items on the shelves is a way to connect with somebody in a new way.
Oh, you've read Thursday Murder Club? Me too.
Okay, so in this room, I found all of these magnets, obviously souvenirs from over the years, and I don't know why they're not on the fridge, but I had the idea of trying to find something metal in order to display these as kind of like art in this room. So when I was at IKEA, I found this metal shelf riser. It's to be used to organize usually in your kitchen cabinets, but it is metal, and I think we could use it to display some magnets. Low-key, I'm not the biggest fan of fridge magnets. Honestly, do whatever you want to do, but I think this is a good alternate. An easy thing I always do is put some books on their sides. I think it just takes up a little bit more space. It also just is more interesting to the eye to not have all of the books straight up and down. Even if you have a full bookshelf, I would consider doing this. Add some variety. I've definitely even seen bookstores do this, so I know it's not wrong, you know? And try playing with height on the shelf so that not everything is one level. I'm even hanging some of these frames so that they are a little bit higher, and it just adds some dimension to the shelving. Okay, I need to step away from the shelves. I keep zhuzhing things and moving things around. We need to move on. We're moving on to the bed. This may be the most exciting part of the whole room. I have been waiting for this moment. So, obviously, this bed literally wasn't even a bed. If your bed doesn't have sheets or a pillow, I don't think it's a bed. So I got sheets, I got pillow, but it's gonna be even cooler than that. This bed is gonna become a couch. Okay, let's start with putting down the base sheet. Okay, this is already better, but the real vision includes these bolster pillows and king pillows. We have a couch. This looks so cozy. Oh my God. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, obviously we're not leaving this with like empty, non-covered cushions, but this is where I ran into a challenge because my sewing skills, you saw my sewing skills. Yeah, I know my limits and I know my time limits too. So in order to get cushions custom made for this setup, I reached out to Demi, who's a TheSorryGirls viewer, and she agreed to make me custom cushions. So what I had to do was go to the fabric store, find my favorite fabric. I was looking for something, I don't know, just kind of neutral. That is Angela's style, so I didn't want anything too bold or patterned.
Do I do white? Do I do beige? Do I do green? Do I do greeny brown? This actually looks brown in person and green on camera.
I ended up finding this cotton linen blend. It was 10 pounds per meter. Is that good? I think that was a good price.
I was decisive. I'm proud of myself.
Got all the fixings, and then I met up with Demi.
Okay, I have some fabric for you. Thank you. Oh, actually, I have one more thing too. For the trimmings.
Oh yes, yeah, of course.
Ah! Next time I see you, it'll be pillows.
And then a few days later, I met up with Demi again, and she handed me the cushions. Also, how is this all it is from that whole roll of fabric? Let's see if the cushions cushion. Wow, she is so pro. We have an arm. Oh, we're making a couch. We're making a couch.
And to make the whole thing look cohesive, Demi also made a duvet cover for the base of the couch. Thank you so much, Demi. She posts her sewing projects on her socials, so check out the links in the description to her Instagram and her TikTok.
You wanna come check it out? Is this a new couch for mommy? You like how it's looking in here? I know. You wanted to hang out in here before, but it wasn't aesthetic. Oh my God, Monty. Okay, bye. Also, something else I wanted to say about the bed couch is that I love how it can still operate as a bed. Like literally the back pillows are just sleeping pillows. We have a duvet as the base. Like it is still a bed. We just like decorated it like a couch. I knew we needed a rug in here for some coziness, and I decided to do something oblong since we have kind of like a trapezoid shape room. And I went with something neutral. Yes, green is a neutral. Fight me. Now for this long wall, I guess you could do like a gallery wall or a bunch of different ideas, but since we already have a lot of busyness going on with the shelves, I knew I wanted to do just a simple mirror. It'll make the space feel larger and not add to any kind of like visual clutter. While I was thrifting, I did see a handful of mirrors, but nothing was just quite as large as I needed it to be, or the large one was like bright blue. So instead I found this one on Facebook Marketplace, and I feel like when people see floor length mirrors like this, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna hang that vertically, which is great if you need to check out your outfit. But if you're in a space where you don't need to always check out your outfit and you just want something to fill up the wall, I think we're gonna do it horizontal. This is not interesting. This is design. What? No. I actually cannot believe I just did that by myself, without a pencil, without a really strong ruler, without a straight edge. Okay, now heading back to work on this desk area. Let's see if the curtain hack turned out. Oh. It worked! Wow. Now we already discussed that the desk chair needs to be replaced. Not very comfortable. It's also yellow, which I don't think is in our neutral vibe that we're trying to go for here. So I actually went to a really cool secondhand shop. It was called Docklands Furniture, and it only sold secondhand office furniture. Love this concept. They had chairs from very different price ranges, but the more affordable ones were this kind of gray white one that was 40 pounds and this brown leather one that was 50 pounds. I did decide to go with this one because it was more comfortable, and I just like the addition of another neutral tone in the space instead of a gray white. So much better. And I'm sure you would have loved to see me struggle with that chair on the tube. Honestly, that would have been good for the content, but I was already carrying a bunch of fabric, so I decided to splurge on an Uber home to Angela's.
Now, arguably the most important part of a makeover, the lighting. Honestly, I couldn't really find any good lighting while thrifting, and the marketplace folk would not negotiate with me, so I grabbed this lamp from IKEA. I didn't love the bulb it was styled with, so while I was in store, I just checked to make sure that I liked this bulb instead, and can confirm it does look good. I like it because it's more diffused, so it's softer on the eye. And if you also have a small space and nowhere to put lighting, do consider a wall sconce. It doesn't take up any floor space, and it allows us to install lighting at different heights, which is a key part of lighting, my friends.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. This was a very long day. I need to go get a light bulb for that wall sconce because it doesn't have one, and I'll do some final touches tomorrow morning, and then we can show Angela. She better like it. That's all I gotta say. Okay, good night. Good morning, it is reveal day. I have just a few more final touches to pull this space together. Angela already had one of these felt boxes, but I picked up a few more because they're like the only thing that will fit in this little cubby, but it works. I also got that G9 light bulb for the wall sconce. This is what a G9 light bulb looks like, for anyone wondering. I was clueless. Is this only a UK thing? It's not plugged in. Okay, I'm about to bring in Ange, but before I do that, if you've made it this far in the video, I know you're liking this content. So consider subscribing because it's absolutely free to you, but it means so much to me. And if you want to know more about the behind the scenes of these episodes, what I got up to in London, I have filmed 2 podcast episodes, our podcast Behind the Story, in this space. Those did come out a month ago, to be honest, episodes 3 and 4. So you can head on to our Patreon to see those. But if you also want your space made over by Becky and I, that's something we also do. On Behind the Story, we virtually design your spaces. It's been so fun talking to you guys, seeing inside your rooms. But if you want to be up to date on things that are happening with the Sorry Girls before they actually happen, consider subscribing to our Patreon. Okay, let's go get Ange. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Open your eyes in 3,
My heart.
2, 1.
Oh, I love it.
So much cozier, eh?
Yes, I love it.
A lot of this stuff is already yours.
Chair, love.
Needed. And the desk mat.
Oh! Oh! Oh yeah, this chair is much better. Oh, John's gonna love this.
Do you like the new curtains?
Oh my god, I didn't even notice them at first.
Yeah.
I like that the curtains, they vibe with this daybed.
Yeah.
Okay, this
I know.
is giving work, work, work. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Nap.
Nap.
Oh no, you kept this.
You know, don't leave things in your room. I will use them. Like I found your bag of magnets and I was like,
I love that.
I know.
Yeah, we're gonna keep adding to it.
yeah, there's room.
Check the hair. Check the face. Zoom ready. It's like just very simple, clean, elegant.
I mean, that's your style.
Chic.
I couldn't do anything too crazy.
Wow, thank you so much, Kelsey.
You're welcome. I love visiting you.
Whoa! Oh, that's really cool.
Okay, that was such a fun adventure being able to visit one of my best friends, explore London, and complete a makeover. I really do feel like I'm living my dream. But next time on The Sorry Girls, Becky is tackling our producer Nina's bedroom in a moody, romantic style. Like just drooling at this inspo. I cannot wait for you guys to see it next week. Bye!
Wait, what was I gonna do? Oh, we're gonna, hold on, let's talk.
Oh, why?
For the video. You have to say thank you and hug.